Welcome to Season 1, Episode 1 of Seduction, Power, and Poise, the Dark Feminine Playbook, where I, Luvia, do my makeup, show you guys a couple of makeup looks, and tell you guys all my secrets on tapping into your dark feminine energy. Today, we're going to do the typical makeup look because I thought, why not just get it out the way? We're gonna do a dark, bold eye. Nothing too crazy, just dark eyeliner, contoured cheekbones that could cut you feel me? Bold lips. First thing we're gonna be talking about is your menstrual cycle, our menstrual cycle, because it is the most powerful thing about our body. The big thing about this is blood is such a spiritual, it's so spiritual, and it signifies a release. So the women's menstrual cycle lasts about 21 to 35 days, depending on who you are, what your diet looks like, all of that stuff. But there are 4 different phases. The first phase is naturally the menstrual phase, when you're bleeding and you're really wondering why God did this to you. That's days around 1 to 7. But the themes for this day is to rest, release, and lots of introspection. I really cannot emphasize how much rest you should be getting during your menstrual phase. You need to be sleeping. You need to be drinking a lot of water. Embrace stillness. I know a lot for my girlies that work 9 to 5s. It's not always easy to just, take a rest day when you're on your period, or you can't do it every single month, which fucking ridiculous. But if anything, I would say prep for your period. During this phase, you want to embrace stillness, doing lots of shadow work and self-reflection. I'll also be doing a video to go way into depth on each of these phases, but I wanted to start off the season with just laying down the foundation so y'all know what they are, when they come up, what time period the phases go about. In conjunction with the themes, you want to journal a lot. Journal themes will be what's no longer serving me and what limiting beliefs am I ready to release. Rituals. Now, rituals are super important as women. Rituals are going to make you want to do things. You'll want to get up and go about your day. You'll want to get up and literally do work. Now, for rituals, you want to make taking a shower or taking a bath, whatever you like to do, very, very, very special in this time period. Movement during your menstrual cycle, lots of gentle stuff, gentle yoga, meditation, deep stretching, because you don't want to put too much strain on your body. Your body's already putting enough strain on the inside, so you don't need to stress it out on the outside. Mantras are super important during this time as well, especially if you're journaling and you're manifesting. Remember, you are tapping into your dark feminine, so believe that it's already yours, and it already is. Trust that it's already yours, and it already is. So your mantra while you're menstruating is, I am whole in my stillness. My power is in my ability to let go. You'll be saying this right when you wake up, on your menstrual period, right before you go to sleep, during your prayers, during your meditation. It's important to repeat this and fully believe it. I really can't stress embracing the darkness and duress and being gentle with yourself during this time period enough. So prioritize that and put your rest first and your calmness and your peace of mind first. Next is the follicular phase, which is about 6 to 13 days. The theme for this phase is playfulness, creativity, and rebirth. Think of this as the spring part of your cycle. Your energy is rising, is blooming into a flower. So this is the time for you to be dreaming big and setting all of your plans into motion. Just like with the menstrual phase, manifestation is crucial. Now, instead of just journaling about it, writing about it, thinking about it, it's time for you to visualize. And for me, lately, visualizing has been a lot easier when I'm watching Black women on YouTube traveling, when I'm watching them talk about their accomplishments, watching them create businesses. So watch the people that look like you and watch the people who like consume what you want to be, because at the end of the day, your subconscious is picking up everything that goes on around you. Like right now, for example, I'm talking, and if you're paying attention to me and you have like some music in the back, your brain, your subconscious is picking up that music in the back like a recorder. It's picking up everything. It's just not focused on everything at once. So be very mindful of what you're picking up. And that's not to say that, I don't watch lower vibrational things. I don't have my moments where I'm listening to music that probably isn't the best for me. But after that, I'm able to at least discern, okay, this isn't what I want my future to look like, or it's not really going to stick to me. Like the energy of that music or that movie or whatever isn't going to stick to me. So during this time period, definitely be aware of what you're consuming, because these are all things that need to be aligned with your goals. The time after the blood has essentially fallen, the war is over, is the time for you to be manifesting. For activity, I would say try a new hobby for sure. Any self-development tool that can help you express yourself, maybe like trying a new yoga class, trying something new with your friend, we're adults, girl. Search up, and if you're not an adult, you can still go out and do fun stuff with your friends, but search up free things that you can do, like park outings, anything that you can do that's fun. Doesn't have to break into your bank, break into your pocket. Active workouts like dancing, Pilates, brisk walks, and jogs. I would say with exercising as a woman in general, you want to keep it very light, low intensity. Or at least if you have an intense workout, wait for a little bit until you do that workout again, because it's going to help your body be trained into a more feminine archetype. So me personally, I love me some good push-ups. I love doing push-ups, and I feel like they make my upper half look so good and so proportioned. So I'll do 10 push-ups realistically, like every week. But ideally, I would do them like every 3 days, every 4 days, honestly. Because it's not high intensity, but it's still push-ups. Like, for me, my body, like, I can work out and it'll like feel it for real. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but if you work out and it takes a while for you to build up that muscle, do it a little bit more often, but still be mindful and aware of sticking to that low intensity, or if you are doing intense workouts, stretch them out throughout the week. Now, rituals. For me, I love a good self-care ritual. So wearing bold, bright colors, going outside of my comfort zone, wearing makeup to places that I wouldn't usually wear makeup to, just letting myself feel special and letting myself feel like I'm on top of the world. Especially because having your period can feel like such a setback, even though I'm here to tell you that it's not. It feels like it can, because you're losing so much, you're letting go of so much, and now you're kind of putting back the pieces together. So honor that and honor yourself and honor the boldness about yourself. You feel me? Honor your creativity. Mantras for today are: I create with ease and flow. My potential is limitless. I embrace my creative confidence. Same thing with the menstrual cycle. You say it every day right before you go to sleep and right when you wake up, and you believe that shit. It's important that when you're saying these things, you believe them. Naturally, if this is your first time doing this or you're not really into this, you're not going to believe it immediately. But you have to trick yourself into believing it. Just how you could have tricked yourself into thinking that you're not worth it or you're less than or whatever. Trick yourself into these mantras, because they are going to be the background track of your subconscious. I really want you guys to really realize around this time how important your self-development is to your self-love. Never stop developing, never stop growing, never stop learning new things, especially as a woman. Now, ovulation phase. The phase everybody talks about: oh, I'm ovulating, whatever the fuck. Cool. The theme here is magnetism, confidence, sensuality. This is when you have your peak energy in your cycle. So it's important that you lean all the way into this, all right? You go all the way. So as we're speaking of dark feminine, I would say this is your darkest period, the time when you are able to really go to depths of your psyche and your subconscious. So for manifestations and for affirmations, speak all of your desires out loud. So we went from thinking about them, journaling about them, to visualizing them and bringing them into our minds. And now we're taking them out of our minds, bringing them into the universe, into the air. Speak it out loud and create a vision board. Even if it's a small vision board, even if you have something this size and you're writing down pictures, you're writing down what you want for your future, what you see for your future, fucking do it, because you need to visualize it and you need to see it in front of you for this to work. So activities, naturally, this is time for you to socialize. This is time for you to get outside. It's time for you to network. If you're a content creator, this is time for you to be creating bold content, talking to others about confidence and about your allure and how you are who you are. And this is also an amazing time to do some glamour magic. If you guys want me to do a separate video on that, I will, because I can talk about glamour magic all day, all night. Dance a lot, dance sensually, wear luxurious fabrics, bold makeup, like I said, luxurious fragrances, and luxury doesn't always equal breaking the bank. If it makes you feel luxurious and it looks nice, it makes you feel nice, that's all that matters. Sip a little wine, wear your robe. It's also something that's super, super, super important, loungewear, you guys. I like to walk around naked because that makes me feel very sexy, but I also like to wear robes sometimes, loungewear at home. So whatever makes you feel sexy, do it. This is the time to do that, ladies. We're celebrating ourselves, and that is what dark feminine energy is about. It's about you. It's about tuning out the world, tuning out what's not important and what's not helping you get anywhere, and channeling you and channeling your own power and your own beauty and your own prowess. And I'm so excited that I'm able to give you guys some advice on this, because I love talking about this. I love talking about women standing up, doing better, feeling better, looking better, when they already did, literally just adding on to what they already had. Mantra for this area, for this time period, for this phase, this cycle: I'm irresistible. I radiate confidence and magnetism. I can't emphasize enough socializing and sharing knowledge, because it's helping you work on your body language, your speech. Be very mindful and aware when you're having conversations during this time, because you want to really practice your allure and slowing down your speech, becoming a little more quiet, being sensual, maybe touching yourself when you're speaking. So last but not least, the luteal phase, which usually lasts the remainder of the period, 16 to I think around like 35 days, 28 to 35 days. This is the time when your energy is going to start dwindling. And the reason is literally because your body is preparing to bleed yet again. So this is the perfect time for deep reflection, setting boundaries, and facing your shadows. We're going back to journaling again. And throughout this whole process, throughout your whole cycle, you can journal. But these are just times when it'll be a little bit more powerful, or it will resonate with you a little bit more. So shadow work is definitely important during this time. Ask yourself, what parts of yourself do you suppress and you shun? And why do you do that? Really think about it. Write about it. Meditate on it. Speak on it. And let it go. Let go of whatever is suppressing you. Whatever reason you have to suppress yourself, let it go. You can never tap into your true feminine energy until you acknowledge what you're suppressing about yourself. So, activity is naturally letting go of physical and emotional baggage not suiting you. For rituals, I would say indulge in a lot of grounding activities, dry brushing, body oiling, aromatherapy. Get outside, go walk on the grass, literally touch some grass. And this is a perfect time as well to practice gratefulness. And for me, as a spiritual being, I like to always thank the universe. I like to always thank God. Personally, I'm not Christian. I don't really subscribe to a religion, but I believe in God, and I was raised Christian, and I understand that there's a higher power out there that us humans have decided to call God. We don't know if God is this energy's real name, but we decided to call it that. So I acknowledge there's a higher power out there, but I think the way that Christianity goes about it, I'm not subscribed to that specific thinking. But around this time is definitely a perfect time to practice gratefulness of any kind. If you also don't subscribe to any religion and you just rather not deal with any religious beliefs, I would say be grateful for the earth and everything around you and your family and everything that you have, and start from there. Because when you start being grateful for the little things that come into your life, the big things are just going to come in tenfold. And that's a fact. Setting boundaries and not letting anything or anybody get in the way of those boundaries or stop those boundaries, because you need to practice your strength at this time. Believe it or not, you are the strongest when you feel like you're the weakest. When you feel like you're the weakest, that is the time to ramp it up. That's the best advice I have ever heard in my life. I don't even remember who gave it to me. I probably saw it in a video or something, but I would say that advice has kept me going. That's one of my favorite pieces of advice, because when you feel the weakest, that's when it's really time to ramp it up. And you're going to make the most progress, but it's going to be the hardest because you feel so weak. So this time, y'all, my girls, you will feel tired, you will feel weak, you will feel like too much is going on, especially if you're a worker and you're working on your own and you're supporting yourself. It's going to feel like a lot. Like, why can't somebody just do this for me one day? Why can't I get some help? Reach out for help. Reach out for help. Never be too afraid or too prideful to reach out for help. It doesn't mean that you're giving up or that you're weak. It means that you're strong. When you ask for help, it means that you refuse to give up. You would rather get somebody else's help than give up. So I don't want to hear none of that, oh, I'd rather just do it by myself. Where's that getting you? If you're depressed and you can't even get up and take care of yourself, all you do is work, you need help. You need help either from a parent, if they can, a friend, somebody you could hire. Just take some time for yourself and acknowledge when you do need help. Mantras for this phase would be, my darkness is my strength. I honor all parts of me, light and shadow. By the way, you guys, I'm loving this makeup look. And I think I might stop here. So those are the 4 phases of your period. So now you're probably asking, all right, we know the 4 phases. We know what they do. How do I do this? How do I incorporate this into my routine? Don't fret, because I will definitely be making more videos on just being more open to incorporating these parts of your life and helping other people even be more open to incorporating it in their life as well. Because as women, we gotta be there for each other, especially Black women. So if you see one of your girls going through it, they don't really know what to do, help them out. That strengthens your natural feminine energy in ways that you'll never understand. Building up another woman is the best way to build yourself up. Let me say it again for the bitches in the back. Building up another woman is the best way to build yourself up. The moment you tear down other woman is the moment you tear yourself down. Something I would say to tap into your dark feminine is to search up what your Black woman is and what it means. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about or what your birth chart looks like, I would suggest you find your birth chart online with your birth time and your birthplace. You'll see essentially a snapshot of where the planets were when you were born. And this is important because this is essentially the predisposition of your life. What I like to say is your birth chart is the recipe, the written recipe that your grandma gave you, and your life is the sprinkle, the extra little seasonings that you add, the taste that you give to your friend to see if it tastes good, the extra little bit of salt, something you take out, something part of the recipe you were like, I don't know, my grandma did that, but different time, different place, we don't even have that around anymore. That, to me, that's what a birth chart is like. It's just a pre-written recipe, but nobody ever really follows the recipe, right? You just make it your own and you use the recipe, but at the end of the day, there's going to be something that you either forget, something that you put a little too much of. And at the end of the day, if you want to make it again, you're going to have to learn and make mistakes and essentially do it all over again. So for me, that's the beauty of life and birth charts. But I don't want to get too deep on that because I would be here forever. Birth charts are very intricate, and it's a very intricate thing to be discussing, a very intimate thing to look at. But if you look on cafeastrology.com and you use your birth chart information, then you'll be able to find out where your Black Moon Lilith is. Essentially, Black Moon Lilith is technically the dark side of the moon, and she was the first wife of Adam. I'm not going to elaborate on her because I have elaborated so many times on her. But long story short, she didn't stay in the Garden of Eden for long, which is why she is not in the Bible. But I would say that to tap into your dark feminine energy, it's absolutely crucial that you know where Lilith is placed in your chart and what her position means for your life. For example, I have Lilith in my first house, technically in Cancer. I'm a Gemini rising, but if you know, you know. But essentially, my shadow is nurturing and love and softness, and that is going to be my lesson in this life. Because Lilith does represent the shadow part and those parts that you're not too comfortable either showing, talking about, or even being. You feel like that isn't even a part of you unless you really do identify with Lilith, which me personally, I strongly identify with Lilith. I don't have the necklace on right now, but I will be showing you at the finished product, like the finished makeup look. I have a Lilith necklace. I definitely deeply resonate with her. But either way, she's always going to be the shadow part of you. So with her being in my first house, it's all about my ego and my personality. I'm constantly going to be working on those and working on not feeling insecure about them. I feel like Lilith also represents the problems you have as a child, growing up with your parents, ancestry, past life, past karma. And naturally, your whole life, your placements are going to play a role. But I genuinely feel like Lilith is that making of you, essentially, like that 0 to like 30, 40, even 50, because to me, like 50 is young, 60 is young. There are people who live way like 40, 50, 60 years after turning 60. So I feel like all of that is Lilith building you up, and tapping into your Lilith power is going to help you reach who you are meant to be faster and faster every day. There's not one destination that we're going to either. You're constantly going to be working on yourself, but there is fast progress and there is slow progress. So look into your Lilith, look into your birth chart. If you haven't before, stop putting it off. I know everybody is already talking about it, but remember that these things that we are all so big on, we're all so, my God, this is new, has been around, is ancient as fuck. And we're not new to this, we're true to this. I'm just accessorizing up a little bit now. With anybody trying to really, really get to know themselves and tap into their dark feminine energy, their birth chart is where it's at. Your birth chart is where it's at, because you cannot keep going about life just guessing and wondering, oh, why is this happening to me? Why is my life like this? The planets literally was in a certain position at the time you were born. That determined a good chunk of your life. You're telling me you don't want to know what that is, why that is, what the planets were doing? I always have such a terrible time putting these piercings in. Stop guessing and start freaking knowing, because there is a literal plan for your life, and there's a reason why you do what you do. There's nothing that's a coincidence in this life, and if you don't search up your chart, you're cheating yourself, and you're robbing yourself of like truly knowing yourself to the utmost. I hope you guys really resonate with this message, and I hope it really sticks with you, and I hope you guys were at least, well, you girls, hopefully you women were at least able to learn something from this and resonate with me. And if you learn a little something about makeup, I hope you did. I know I wasn't really focused on talking a lot about the makeup look or explaining myself because I was more so focused on talking about our menstrual cycles. So if you'd like me to do an in-depth tutorial on this look, definitely let me know, and I will have that up for you guys as soon as I possibly can. Thank you for staying tuned in to this part. If you stay tuned in this long, I will see you guys on the next one. I'm trying to post every other day, and I'm trying to get you guys some banging content every other day. So I will see you guys on episode 2.